up, all you lovely learners out there in Learning Land? Welcome to day 4 of our 10-day chord melody challenge. If you're watching this in 2020, you still have time to win a brand new ukulele from Kala. Details on how to enter in the description. If not all good, it is a 10-day chord melody crash course to help you with this lovely style of playing ukulele. Today we're talking about the value of knowing the root note of your chord. If you know the root, you can actually imply the chord just by playing one note. Free printable tabs for everybody for this lesson pinned in the first comment of the comment section. Just scroll down to the comments and go ahead and download that. If you like the tabs, think about becoming a Patreon. And once you have them ready, go ahead and grab your ukulele. Brain and attention span. You got that handful of stuff? Follow me on in and let's go ahead and learn the value of the root notes. Come on in, let's do it. All right, so jump into it. This is an excerpt of Keep on the Sunny Side of Life. We have taught this whole song. So if you want to learn this classic Carter family tune, you can go ahead and I'll put a link up here in the notes and in the description. We only need 2 chords, the G chord and the D chord. And the root note for your G chord is this G string, which we've kind of already discussed in detail. And if we make a D chord, the root note is the 2nd fret of the C string. G chord, root note, same note, D chord, root note. If we were to play a D7, we'd have the same root note. But that is a bar chord, and we're still trying to do as much of this without bar chords as we can. So we're going to work around that with something that I like to call Know Your Roots. Let's learn our melody first. Pop up the first 4 measures. Let me play it. And this is a more complicated melody, so we're going to break it down after I play it. Here we go. Okay, so what's going on here is we're starting off 2 notes on the C string, doot doot, and then we go to our G chord, 3rd fret of the E string, 1, 2nd beat, 3, up to the A string, O, 2, back to the E, 3, O, 3, 2nd fret of the C, 2, 2, 3, 302, 303, 2. Take it phrase by phrase. Don't move on until you can play that phrase. The next one, we're getting further up the neck. It's 2, 3, 5 on our A string. And then that 5 is a quarter note. Then we go into a run. 5, 5, 5, 2, 3, open A string. Then you hear O2, which will turn over to the next 4 measures. So really quick, well, we're actually opposite of that, really, really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom. Okay, don't move on until you can play that. Next 4 measures. Next 4, let me play them for you and we're going to break them down. Okay, the first measure, we're going to start off on the 3rd fret here. We're going to play that 1, and then the open A string 2 times. Up to the 5th fret. With your ring finger will be the easiest. Index on the 3, ring on the 5. Then you're going to go back to the 3rd fret 2 times with your index. Move it down to the 2nd fret. And let it ring 1, 2, 3. 3rd fret with your middle finger. 3, 4, and 1. Well, let's just do that phrase really quick. Just up to that 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. 4, and 1. This melody is definitely the most intricate that we've played so far, so really take your time on these things. Don't move on until you know the melody. That's something I've emphasized over and over again, but feel really confident with the melody before you move on. All right, then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1. Start off on the 3rd fret. 3rd beat, 2nd measure. You're going to go 3, 4, and then on the off beat, you'll play the 2nd fret of the A. to the open A string 4 times in a row. 1 and 2 and 3. Second fret of the E string. 3, 4, and 1. Up to the root note, G. Oops, G. We're in the key of G, and that would resolve the song. 3, 4, and 1. Okay, this whole thing nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the whole melody. Let's go ahead and play through the whole melody, all 8 measures. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1. Be able to do that before you move on. Okay, so now let's talk about harmonizing it. First 4 measures. We're going to kick it off 2, 2, and then our thumb strum. Nothing too fancy there. 4 and 1. Then this next measure sounds like this. Let me play it and we'll talk about it. So I'm going to play the open G. Our melody is a G note, and we're using that cool trick that we learned, the power of the G string. The next melody note's the A string, so we're going to play the open A. The next note is the second fret of the A string. What we're going to do is we're going to pinch the open G and the open, and the second fret of the B. Now this is the power of the G string, but it's also knowing that this G note is my root note, and I'm using that root note and the B to imply a G chord. The next melody note's a G, so I play the open G string, power of the G. The next melody note's an E note, so I'm going to play the open E and the open G together. And then I'm going to play the G again. And then finally land on the second fret of the G string here alone before I start strumming. So we're really using this G string as an anchor root-wise to play this phrase. 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. What was that? Was that a random solo? Okay, so then we just have that little black line that looks like going up, across, and down. I think it looks a little like a tunnel. Specifically the kind of tunnel that's carved into the trees, the redwoods. That's what I see. It's just down 2 times, no melody, so we use our index finger. Then we're going to pinch, keep the G and pinch the A and the G strings, using our G string and our B note to harmonize the G chord. On our way, 3rd fret with your ring finger on your way up to the 5th fret of the A and the G string again. You're starting to see how powerful this G string technique is. Play the 5th again, open and 5 again, back to 2 with your index finger, then you strum on the 4th beat with the G, and then it goes to a D chord. But what we're going to do here is we're going to play the D note and the open A together and pinch them like this. So I'm using my A note and my D together, and the D is harmonizing the A. It sounds like my D string or my C string's a little flat, so let me tune up real quick. We get to that D chord, and we are using this D note with this A note to imply a full D chord, which is really, really cool, right? This is what I mean by know your roots. If I know the root note of my D chord, I'm able to play the root note against the A, like we've been doing with the G string, and imply the full chord instead of doing the full thumb strum. it's kind of like a micro harmony. And that mixed with the full harmony sounds really, really nice. Okay, so if we put that phrase together, we get, we're going to play from the fourth beat of the third measure in the sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it turns over the O2, you'd play. Let's go ahead and put this entire first half of the song together from the top. Count it out nice and slow. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. All right, so real quick before we move on, notice how when I got to the D, I just fret a D like a normal D chord and played these two strings, and then went into strumming the chord, and then I played these two, and then I switched to these fingers here. So now I'm fretting the second fret with my index finger. Let's bring up the next four measures and you'll see why. Okay, so you'll see that we're starting off with the D7. That bar chord we talked about. And instead of playing the full bar, I'm playing the index finger on the second fret and my middle finger on the third fret of the A. D note, C note, D7. I'm going to go 1, 2, and remove my middle finger and play the open A with my index and the D note here, second fret of the C with my thumb. 2, and then pinky on the fifth fret while keeping this finger down. Hi, baby, I'm recording. With my pinky now. So middle finger, third fret, pinky, fifth fret, no finger for the open. And we get third fret of the beat. And then I go back to 3, 3, and then the open. And then I fret a G chord and play with a fretted G chord, the G and the A strings. So this one measure really slow. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. Notice how when I went back to the G, I already had that second fret fretted, right? So then we strum index finger, no melody, thumb strum the first three strings, index finger, no melody, and then catch that second fret of the A string on the way up with our index finger. Notice how I'm only using the root note trick on the 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm not using it on the and. If I use it on the and, it creates a sense of syncopation, which kind of gives a reggae feel, which we don't really want with this old-timey kind of song. So we play the second fret, we go back to a D, and we're using our trick again. I'm fretting a full D, and I'm going plucking the second fret of the C string with my thumb, index, open A, index again, both of them, index, and then the 2 in the middle. 1, and 2, and 3. And the next piece is 2, 2, you'll see. So I just move my index finger from plucking the A string down to the E string, and my thumb does the exact same thing. Then it's open E string against the second fret. I remove my pinky, play the second fret, then strum a G. So the second half of this from the D would be 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1. And then from there you could either let that ring or strum through that G. So the entire second half of the song we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's put the whole thing together from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you know where your roots are, that's highly beneficial for both composition as well as arranging and harmonizing your chord melodies. And there you have it, folks. That is the power of knowing your roots. Rock and roll. All right, friends. So you've seen that the thumb strum is not the only way to voice your chords and get the melody to sound over the harmony. These root notes are a great way to harmonize your melody, a cool little trick, and it adds variety, especially if you mix it up with the thumb strum. Thank you so much for watching. Think about becoming a Patreon if you like those tabs, because you get those tabs with every single lesson, and that support turns into support. We just invest it right back into Tenthumbs. Skype lessons 101 if interested as well. That information is in the description, my email. And until next time, keep on rocking and rolling, keep on loving life, and we're going to catch you for day 5 in our Chord Melody Challenge. Take care and have a lovely day. Peace.